Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure and honor to moderate this panel session about the digital tools and AI and machine learning technology for cultural inheritance, with some distinguished panelists that we have here from professors and academia and industry, not only from Greece, but all and the other attendants. According to the list that I have here, my name is Anastasios Doulamis. I'm professor at the National Technical University of Athens, the School of Rural and Surveying Geoinformatics Engineering, with my background in computer vision and artificial intelligence. I have the distinguished colleagues here. It's Andreas Menichtas from University of Piraeus. Andrea, say goodbye. And hello. Okay. Kyriakos Lavropoulos, assistant professor from, where is Kyriakos here? From the National Technical University of Athens. Anagnostakis Iliana, with the chemical engineering from the Directorate of Public Relations of International and European Affairs. Here. Technical Chamber of Greece. Karfas Ioannis, which from Geoinformatics Systems, it's here. Georgios Gavidakis, professor for the University of Aegean. Klios Sgouropoulou for the University of West Attica. Hi, Klio. And Professor Konstantinos Tokmakidis from the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki and the School of Rural and Surveying Engineering. Yes. Colleague. Okay, now can we start? I have a short presentation for 5 minutes in order to trigger the discussion. Δεν υπάρχει εδώ. And Foutos, sorry, Foutos Ioannis, for Professor from Ioannis, sorry. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Okay. How can I open the presentation?
Στο πόδιο πρέπει να πας.
Λίγο εδώ. Δεν βλέπω όμως εγώ. Τι έχω στείλει.
Ναι, μαζί δεν είμαστε. Εγώ τη δικιά μου βλέπω.
I can't see my presentation here. Although I have sent it.
Δεν έχουν ενημερωθεί από αυτά που δώσαμε έξω στο γραφείο.
Ό,τι έχω είναι.
Τα δώσαμε το πρωί πριν λίγο.
Τα δώσαμε από τις 1 το πρωί. I'm sorry, just...
Και Καριδάκης. Είμαστε μαζί.
So it is a technical issue. We're going to solve it.
Ναι. Αναγνωστάκη Φούντος, Κάλφας και Μενίχτας είμαστε εντάξει.
Yes, of course. Andreas. Please, I give the floor in order to solve this technical issue to Professor Andreas Menichtas. Hi, Andreas.
Thank you very much, thanks for the introduction. I'm Andreas Menichtas, assistant professor in the Department of Digital Systems in the University of Piraeus. And it's actually one of the few times in my life that I have only prepared 4 slides for a presentation, only to facilitate this discussion. And thinking about the topic, both the topic of the panel and the topic of the conference, I think it's important to identify the 2 worlds that we're dealing with, and to find the connection and the difference between them. One world is the technology. It's the series of bits and bytes, the algorithms, the data, the models. Part of it is the AI, the AI elements. And on the other hand, we have what the perception of the humans, what the human understand about digital culture, about art, about culture in general. And it's a meaning that we give in this data structure, in these elements. It's the cultural significance, it's the ethical values, it's the authenticity, it's the connection that the humans feel about these pieces of art, about these digital elements. We tend as humans to comment on art or on things in general, like this thing has a soul or this thing doesn't have a soul. So we try to identify behind things or data what our feeling is by interacting with these elements. So in these presentations, I'm trying to identify these aspects and to facilitate this discussion. First of all, no one can deny the capabilities of AI in data analysis, in connecting data from interdisciplinary fields, identification of patterns, improvement of accessibility, the capabilities in data management, and several of these things have been already implemented and incorporated the RESPECT platform that I have the pleasure to be a member of. I have some questions to trigger the discussions, some questions that we already have in mind when talking about AI and its connection with our everyday life. Question one. We can use AI, we have several examples, of reconstructing a monument or creating a digital representation of a monument or interpreting an ancient text. So the question is, the result of this work is a story, but whose story? It's the story of AI, it's the story of the data that the AI was created or trained with. Question two. So AI becomes more and more sophisticated. The images that you can see in this presentation were created yesterday by using AI tools and some interesting prompts. This prompt, for example, is the Parthenon in a digital wireframe and the hand interacting with it. So as AI becomes more sophisticated, so ultimately, does it enhance the human interpretation or it blocks it at the end? Question three. We know about bias. We're creating tools by training them with data, feeding them with data. But these data have bias. It's in the human nature to have bias when we talk about things. Our talks here are different because everyone has a different perspective, different understanding. So each one of us has a bias. But at the same time, the data that these tools are trained with also have bias. So this means that how these AI tools can interpret the monuments, the text, the elements of heritage, or creating new representations. Are they, at the end, capable of interpreting the history in a different way? So this is a major concern that comes in our mind. So the answer on this, I think it's to focus on what digital heritage is and what is the role of AI or in general technology in this new world. First of all, it's important to understand that digital heritage, it's not just the data elements and the algorithms. It's the human interacting with this data. It's the stories that are created by the humans that interact with this data, watching or being part of these creations. It's the memories that are created. It's the experiences. It's the values that this digital heritage creations, monuments represent. So it's ultimately the feelings that are created to the humans by interacting with these elements. So independently of AI or any other technologies, my perception is that everything should keep its authentic and unique nature. So the challenges that we're facing with AI should not block this authenticity or the uniqueness of the various digital heritage creations. So ultimately, I don't think that we have a statement that is technology versus soul. By soul, I wanted to express the human perception for the digital heritage, but it's the technology that should have a soul. It's technology with a soul that should be part of the tools, of the algorithms, or of any digital platform or framework that we'll be using. So ultimately, these two parts should become one and challenge and address all the related challenges about bias, about the explainability of AI, about the human-centric part of AI, and these are core issues that need to be addressed and ultimately create tools that will be beneficial for the users, for the citizens, for everyone that interacts with digital heritage. So, thank you.
Thank you, Andreas. Let me see if my presentation is okay. Okay.
Είναι αγωνιστή τώρα, μπορώ εδώ. Τώρα
Έχετε και τη δικιά μου.
πιθανόν.
Είναι το εδώ. Είτε που είναι, δεν ξέρω.
Πιθανόν εδώ είναι. Ήδη θα βλέπετε το όνομά σας.
Δεν πειράζει.
Παρουσιάζεις αυτό εδώ.
Παναγίου, δεν είναι το βαργίδα.
Πίσω.
Συνεχίζουμε.
Ναι, ναι.
Εντάξει, δεν πειράζει. Ας κάνουμε κάποιο άλλο.
Δεν είναι στο USB.
Δεν πειράζει. Δεν είναι ένα πρόβλημα. Πού είναι το mouse, παιδιά?
Το βάλε.
It's here. Okay. No.
Δεν είναι εδώ μέσα.
Okay. Τη βρήκα.
Α, και βάλαμε το...
No. Okay. This is my short presentation of 5 minutes. My name is Anastasios Doulamis, as I told before. I'm the moderator of this panel session. Okay. I'm going to give my first presentation was just a start of a triggering of the whole panel discussion. So I try to focus on an holistic view of AI digital tools for cultural inheritance. First, for this reason, I'm starting first with the new sensors that we have now, which means that new sensorial data. And the new sensors is, for instance, terahertz devices, hyperspectral, multispectral, and sensing devices, LiDAR, environmental sensors from climate change, magnetic and ground penetration radar, fiber optics. This is a wide range of sensors, each dealing with a different application scenario, different aspect of the cultural heritage analysis. For instance, with terahertz, we can find hidden monuments, hidden items under the ground. With multi-spectral sensors, we can find and we can detect material detection, which is very important element for the structure of the elements, and not only for the tangible but for the intangible ones. With environmental sensors, we can find the impact of the environment and the climate change, of the penetration of the drought, etc., on the monuments, and how this intents can affect the monument structure. But also we have also the wearable sensors with the ground sources and the devices of the cameras that we have, the pervasive computing that also increase the documentation. We have done also some work in our lab dealing with this in the wild documentation of the content. Now we can move to the new techniques for cultural inheritance, for monitoring inspection, like for instance, computer image algorithms for decay detection and for decay analysis, material detection and color and texture detection, for photogrammetric tools, 3D reconstruction. This is, for instance, some examples of one research that we have done in 3 years before in a prestigious image processing conference in ICIP, which is dealing with a new device, a 1K tensor flow for the detection of an automatic categorization of the stones of a monument. But all these can be tailored with deep learning models, like, for instance, convolutional neural networks, vision transformers, autoencoders, long-term short LSTM, long short-term memory networks, LSTMs, tensor-based learning with some models that we have implemented in our lab. UNet networks, which more for classification purposes, GANs, generative adversarial models, nerve and neural radiance fields, the MAMPA, the new state models, with now in 3 years they have been studied in Stanford and in very prominent for classification. The VLS models, the vision language models, with it's in comparative with the LLMs, the language models, which also can improve the analysis. And this can be done in a series of applications for augmented reality, 3D reconstruction, documentation, intangible cultural inheritance, including, for instance, the clothes, the dances, the values of the monuments, because a monument is not only the building. The building is just a stone that we have built for, but the target and the purpose for this is the intangible inheritance that is also very important and less attractive in the research of the science, but it's also very important from the analysis. This is some results. All these results, some results that we have done in our lab. For instance, this is the Carve city in Germany that we have performed a 4D reconstruction, meaning the reconstruction plus time, because we have data from about 150 years before, and we can see how the Carve city is involved through time. We have in the first here, I cannot see the laser. On the above, it's the reconstruction of the Porta Nigra and gate in Germany, in Frankfurt, which is the goal is to reconstruct it from the wild, from images taken from just a mobile phone. So it's to replace the photogrammetry using very low sensors. And of course, on the bottom we have the dances and the model, which is meaning now 4D, dynamic 4D motion, because it's the 3D geometry plus the time. It's not just a simple reconstruction and the recording of the dance movement, but the 3D geometry plus the time with very dynamic nature. And we have done a lot of work for the dances. And now we have some applications about augmented reality that we can put a monument, an honored monument in a no one. You have seen, most of you from Greece, you have seen the Kronos application of Cosmote, which is the same concept as we have done many years before, that we can replace an old monument, for instance in Olympia, with the actual monument as it was in this time, and a user can interweave, can navigate and play with this monument. We have also, we can see, but this can go, because culture is not only the monuments, it's also the history, it's also the environment. So you can see, for instance, seeing the animals, the plants of a site, or to can see the 4D dimension or the 5D, as we have said by Professor Ioannidis in our lab, which meaning the 3D geometry plus time plus scale, because the scale is also very important. One is different, the capacity and the computation requirements of a model when it's going to be played by a mobile phone or a high expensive device. We have also the underground. We have also here Professor Tokmakidis with underground documentation, which is also a very important aspect of the cultural inheritance, less attractive again. And of course the LiDAR and the documentation of the content. So this is just, these are supposed to be the first presentation of the panel in order to trigger the discussion. We have seen the excellent presentation of Professor Menigtas about the soul and how the values and the importance of the tangible thing of the monuments trigger us. And now it's the place for the other moderators to give their views and expressions, and then to have a lot of time for discussion in order to be in-depth analysis of our result. Thank you. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Thanks. Next will be Professor Evlogon.
I haven't prepared the presentation because I'm going to most probably put food for thought, and I'm standing among esteemed colleagues that are either surveying engineering, geoinformatics, or computer science. And me and Liana are chemical engineers, and I'm worried about AI, not about the benefits of AI, that AI may find it hard for cultural heritage. What I mean is the following. From what applications we have seen and the trends we have seen, AI is recently doing very well in reconstructing the form, the geometry of a monument. But digital heritage should not be limited only to that. Cultural heritage asset, it's not only its form, its geometry, it's the materials. It's the materials, it's the values. So I think that AI will find it difficult in trying to interpret reconstructions in all its level of the monument. For example, unfortunately, most of the material science techniques have not been digital from the very beginning. So there is a wealth of information, and I'm coming back to Andreas, that he's right to be worried about that AI will continue looking at whatever he has already created. There is a wealth of information that has already been created and has been available, but has not been digital from the beginning. It's a different thing to have it digital from the beginning and different thing to have it digitized. A text, it's probably easier digitized, and AI is doing very well in interpreting or reconstructing text and making something out of it. But how can you make something out of a thermal analysis? How can you make something about a chemical analysis? Fortunately, some of the non-destructive techniques lately are becoming more three-dimensional and geo-referenced and very digital. Unfortunately, this has not been in the past. I have seen a ground-penetrating radar formation, for example, where I know that it have been only graphs. So there is the human factor, how to interpret the targets. I'm looking forward for the time when the AI will help me identify the targets in a micrograph, in an image, or in a georadargram. I have seen it, it's doing very well in image processing, so it probably it's doing much better in infrared thermography, for example. But I'm still worried that we are going to lose some of the information that is not actually, let's say, geometrical or digital from the beginning. And that's the clear danger, and we have to look at it, for example, for us, to look back at the information, how this was created. Obviously, George will talk about semantics. It's not an easy thing. But again, I'm worried about the non-digital information. Information that has been with us about how to make a mortar, what composition we have. And last but not least, we have seen the virtues of beam and H-beam, especially beam. Beam has gone many steps. But modern buildings are what they say, modern. So from the beginning, they have been designed under three-dimensional digital environments. So now there have been a lot of applications that can actually predict and the piping, the plumbing and mechanical and electrical piping. But the cultural heritage has the difficulty that it's mostly ad hoc. There are so many cases, so many information available that it's very difficult to organize. And AI may actually, since they don't have their raw material, we have seen that in the Holy Aedicule project. This was one of the projects that was very digital from the beginning. We were trying to have everything information in 3D environment, digital. We were trying our best. The next level was the Respect platform that we try to see to get new information out of that. And now with APTHEA, we're going to move it to also to other aspects of digital heritage. All I'm trying to say is we have to look at digital heritage not just for the 3D, very nice reconstruction of a building, but there is information lying behind the facades, there is information above the facades, which are the values. So we have to keep this in mind when we create new information through all the techniques that we're involving, and when we're trying to digitize past information to have it available for AI and for 3D platforms like Beam and H-beam and so on. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Davropoulos. Now we can go from to Dr. Anagnostakis Liana, give a talk from the Technical Chamber of Greece, Chemical Engineering. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Just try to use this. How can I move the slides? Το πληκτρολόγιο. Okay, τέλεια. Εντάξει, okay. So, thank you very much for the invitation to this very important conference. It's, I think, the fourth annual international conference that organized by a lot of organizations. Among them is Technical Chamber of Greece, and we're honored to participate to this international conference. My presentation is about, I'm Liana Anagnostakis, and I am head of the Directorate of Public Relations, International and European Affairs in Technical Chamber of Greece. But I'm here with the other hat that I have as a member of the Steering Committee of EU BEAM Task Group. I'm glad I'm going to present you some things about how European Union thinks about the BEAM and H-beam. So I'm going to start my presentation. Πώς είναι? Okay. This one. Okay, thank you very much. So, first of all, starting my presentation, I would like to note some facts that are given from the European Union, construction industry in the European Union. One out of the 14 EU industrial ecosystems, responsible for the 9% of the EU GDP and 7% of employment, and it consists of 3.1 million companies and mostly SMEs. Okay. From these numbers, we can understand why the digital transition is so important for the European Union, saving resources through digital transformation, and building information modeling, BIM, is the most fundamental vehicle for the digital transformation of the construction industry. It is essentially the digital simulation of infrastructure construction, but also the operation of the infrastructures. It leverages technologies, processes, and digital information to achieve improvements for the customer, but even if the customer is private sector or public sector, and the project outcomes. BIM is the factor that we can improve the decision making. It's called the data-driven decision making processes. And BIM has to deal with the entire life cycle of the infrastructure. We use smart digital models, and we provide to them necessary information to design, study, and make the infrastructure faster, cheaper, with better quality, and with less impact to the environment. BIM can be used in construction, in new construction projects, but also play a key role in the restoration, renovation, and maintenance of the built environment, which represents also the large part of the construction industry activity. And to the HBIM sector, BIM has already established an important role in the heritage building domain as a set of technologies, processes, and policies that can provide information about the asset, about the heritage, cultural heritage buildings and materials. And this called the heritage BIM, this process, and using the educated technological tools. About the benefits of HBIM, I want to point some of them. First of all, comprehensive documentation and analysis through all these technological tools such as laser scanning, photogrammetry, and other survey methods. Point clouds, 3D models can be generated, capturing the initiative details and geometries of historical structures. This comprehensive documentation is crucial for understanding the building's current conditions, identifying areas of deterioration, and planning restoration efforts. Second benefit, enhanced collaboration. Collaboration is the common and the keyword for the BIM. BIM provides a collaborative platform where all parties can access, share, and update information in real time. This fosters better communication, reduces misunderstandings, and ensures that everyone is working with the most current data. Third one is the historical and integrity preservation. By visualizing the impact of proposed changes, conservators can make informed decisions that align with preservation principles. The fourth one, efficient project management. That's why BIM, except than building information modeling, we can call it building project. It's a tool for project management. So the M is not only for modeling, but for management as well. So BIM's integrated project management capabilities help streamline workflows, track progress, manage resources effectively, This results in more predictable projects, timelines, and budgets, reducing the risk of costly overruns. Fifth is the improved risk management. For instance, structural simulations can predict the impact of restoration, work on the building's stability, allowing for proactive measures to be implemented. So, the future of the HBIM. The future of BIM in heritage restoration is promising with all these new tools that we have through the artificial intelligence and machine learning, can enhance data analysis and predictive modeling, improving the accuracy and efficiency of restoration. The augmented reality and virtual reality can provide new experiences, aiding in the visualization and communication of restoration plans. And for the adoption, BIM adoption, especially this one. Okay. For the BIM adoption, we can have from the experience all over the world some main takeaways from international frontrunners. Establishing strong international partnerships is crucial for adopting BIM and HBIM as well. The experience of international frontrunners shows that partnering with external organizations plays a crucial role in BIM adoption. And at this point, it is worth emphasizing that there is a European directive since 2014. It's the Directive 24 that mentioned for the first time BIM in the European legislation. After this directive, in February 2016, it was established a task group under the umbrella of DG GROW in the European Commission. It's called EU BIM Task Group. Consists of the members of public sector, the representatives from all 27 member states of European Union. Greece was member. That's right. Oh, no. Okay, Greece became a member since 2018, by the end of 2018, and since 2020 we have a position in the steering committee of this organization, and we can give our inputs in this task group and take a lot of experience from other member states, how to use BIM in our public works. We have also a national strategic plan for public works in Greece using BIM since last year, since May of 2024. And let's continue with other takeaways from international frontrunners. First of all, provide financial incentives to adopt BIM. It's a good way to adopt BIM if everybody believes in this new process with new technological tools, and the government and public authorities invest to fund the BIM implementation projects. Second is create an active digital construction ecosystem. In this ecosystems are included private companies, academia, government agencies, and research institutes, or other stakeholders, vital stakeholders, to accelerate the pace of digitalization of the construction sector and contribute to the implementation of BIM. And of course, last but not least, invest in BIM education and of course in HBIM education. HBIM and BIM is a complex process to operate because it doesn't deal only with the design and construction projects, but also in the operation of these infrastructures. And it's necessary to upskill professionals in the construction industry to use it. And since we're talking about the need for collaboration, funding, and synergies in the process of adopting BIM, we can say that, next slide please, thank you. We can mention such an initiative is also this project, the project of Evlogon, model interdisciplinary development and technology and cooperation transfer in the restoration of iconic monuments and the promotion of Christian values in dialogue with society. This project is funded by the General Secretariat for Research and Innovation under the National Development Programme with a total budget of €2,400,000 euros. The objective is to develop and apply interdisciplinary and innovative standardized methodology for the restoration, preservation, protection of major Christian heritage monuments, establish a national network for knowledge exchange and collaboration, strengthen all the international collaborations in the protection of religious heritage, using all the digital tools, create a holistic relationship between society and cultural heritage. The duration is from February 2025 till December 26. And we have the honor to participate to this project. The next one, please. Thank you. The partners project coordinator, National Technical University of Athens, with the president, scientific president, Ms. Moropoulou, and partners Orthodox Academy of Crete, Technical Chamber of Greece, University of the Peloponnese, University of Ioannina, and National Center of Social Research. The key deliverables will be digital repository for emblematic heritage restoration case studies, and a national network for sustainable heritage conservation, books, training, workshops, and open labs, cross-disciplinary scientific forums, and of course the digitalization and AI will be the center of this project. Also, the team of National Technical University of Athens has the experience with other projects of heritage using digital tools, and we're going to implement this project in a better way that we can do it. And that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. And my LinkedIn for any other questions. And I'm glad to contribute to this panel. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anagnostaki, for this excellent presentation. The next floor is to Dr. Karfas. But because we're out of the age, please stay 5 minutes, maybe less. 4 minutes. Good before. We can go for the next one in order to detail for the technical issue. The next is Professor George Garidakis. Please, George, stay in the time.
Great. So, good morning, and initially congratulations on Professor Moropoulou for a great organization of this really interesting conference. I told her yesterday that it was a great achievement to gather all these important aspects and entities and persons. So it's a kind of an all-star team, and I'm really happy to be part of this team. So I'm George Karidakis, and this is how it will go. So some information about me, some projects hopefully related to what we are talking about, and some final thoughts on the topic of this panel, AI and cultural heritage. So I'm at the Department of Cultural Technology and Communication, University of the Aegean, where I'm leading, coordinating the Intelligent Interaction Research Group. And recently we have established a spin-off, Go Insane. You can visit. The name was my, let's say, thought. And I'm also affiliated with Athena Research Center. Eleni Petra is currently here, going to talk about some work we've done there. The NTUA and Paris, which I visited last year for my sabbatical. And during the last 20 years, being involved in more than 40 R&D projects. So I have been contributing, offering my service to Horizon Europe for evaluating GSRT, LIDEC, IKI, etc. Leading, chaired the ESETEC Council, Research Council on Tourism, Culture and Creative Industries, and am currently an expert on the data space for cultural heritage, which is really, really relevant to what we are talking about. Also a regular member of the Hellenic Foundation for Research and Innovation, General Assembly, and the chair of the ACM Greek Eye and the MedCai committee. So my research is based on three axes: data, AI models, and user. My research could be intelligent user interaction or user experience, but also involving data in collecting, processing, and representing them in order to be used from models and users. So the first example would be the ancient Tyrannus in Nafplio, which we preserved and restored the Acropolis there with capturing 3D models and the most important, documenting intervention processes. So what we the intelligent aspect of this would be, so this doesn't work, okay, would be that we represented using semantic web technologies the process and the material and the final result, and also simulated via open labs and in-lab settings also the pure preservation and conservation process, but also the kind of storytelling and narrative of the usage. So the ontology, the resulting ontology, was based on CDOC, CRM, and other established models, and included both the digitization and the intervention itself. The Open Lab and mixed reality instances included a narrative of the legend of Melampus and a guided walkthrough through the reconstructions you can see below the images and on the right. So Archimon is really a work in progress, not yet funded, but hopefully soon. Based on, it deals with preservation of coastal heritage and includes IoT, infrastructure, predictive risk analysis of the environmental effects on the coastal heritage instances, and mixed reality for crowdsourcing and also raising awareness. Kyriakos Lambropoulos, a great colleague, talked about non-destructive techniques, including infrared thermography and GPR, ground penetrating radar, which we are working on, still not funded, but hopefully soon, about detecting, classifying, analyzing, and interpreting structural damage using AI and semantic web technologies, knowledge representation. The Paros queries really, a couple of years ago, we scanned not only the queries themselves in Marathi Paros, but also the surroundings using drone 360 capture and binaural audio, including the, and hopefully we'll continue working on this, on sites in Cyclades that are hard to reach and could take advantage of this technology. So the Athens School of Classical Studies in the American, I have been an advisor to the current project dealing with digitization and documentation of the Schliemann archives and the excavation in ancient Corinth, along with part of the Gennadius library, resulting in interactive digital exhibitions, including narratives and crowdsourcing. But the interesting part is the SparkQL annotator that automatically annotates material using external sources, and also the enrichment process. Finally, the intangible and living heritage, we have piloted a small project co-called within the RIERUA Horizon 2020 program, involving Paris and Lesbos for the commonalities in communities using culture. So some work on SETKE. SETKE is the Common European Data Space for Cultural Heritage. It's part of the Digital 2030 agenda and strategy. It's notably the data included in this attempt is notably worth of around 800 billion euros, so really a big thing. And we're hoping to build on the 2021 recommendation, also involving new and upcoming approaches and concepts and nodes. Some of these thoughts about AI and digital heritage is that AI could play a role as an enabler, supporting the access, the democratization of the cultural heritage content and the processes and around the topic, interpretation, and finally sustainability. Issues, challenges, I would say, data regarding the quality, validity, and fairness with the fair approach. Ethics, which we overall, and especially in cultural heritage, should not be optional and should be the basis of the usage and the building AI systems that deal with everything, actually, but especially for cultural heritage. And finally, the user and the heritage, this is what it's about, not about the system itself, not about the data, but it's about the user and heritage. So, not AI, data, and user. So you can find more about me, just Google me around. Thank you.
Thanks, Professor Karidakis. We can, if the technical issues have resolved, yes, so we can move to Dr. Karfas.
So, good morning from me also. My name is Ioannis Kalfas. I'm Trimble Brand Manager at JGC, General Information Systems. This is our main topic. We are a commercial company. We're direct to the market, so that's why will be presented. Actually, it should have been Mr. Tsonakas instead of me, but I'm representing him because something unexpected happened to him. So I'm speaking on behalf of him. So JGC was established in 1999. We have 26 years of history, legacy. Currently, we are the #1 in geospatial sales in Greece, and we carry on. We have two sectors: commercial sector, which is involved in the distribution and so leading geospatial solutions in the fields of AEC, engineering, construction, and architect. And a service and support sector, which is involved in servicing the sold equipment. We train our clients and we support them. We are located at the center of Marousi, Athens, for many, many years, and this is our main headquarters of JDC. So, what are the challenges of the new era for the modernized engineer? We can say that it's that day by day, year by year, we see that the engineers are involved in a complex way of things, really complicated projects with huge data to handle off. So what we trying to do as a market-wise, commercially-wise, is to find them the solutions in order to participate in the modernized projects they have. The benefits, of course, of the engineers would be to save their time, to have reliable data, accurate data, and to work in safe and stable conditions. Of course, speaking of huge data, of models, point clouds, and generally in reality capture solutions, they have to be integrated into many software platforms, including BIM, of course, and other solutions as well. The brands that we represent, among others, which is highly connected to this kind of, let's say, day we are here, it's Trimble, which is #1 in geospatial sales worldwide, and Faro, which is the main brands we have for reality capture, documentation, and geospatial solutions. So Trimble has, to say it really quickly, has a really wide range of geospatial solutions. Among others, as we told before, we have 3D LiDAR scanners, terrestrial ones and mobile ones, in order to collect data, big data, huge data, in a really efficient and fast way. What we see that has changed in the geospatial environment worldwide the last couple of years is that augmented reality has been involved more and more. So we have a dedicated software in order to implement 3D models inside the physical world. The solution in the commercial wise is Trimble Sight Vision. As we told before, we have the 3D LiDAR scanners. Among others, we have terrestrial ones. That the benefit of the new way of terrestrial LiDAR scanners compared to the past is that the point clouds collected are registered, georeferenced directly in the field. No more spheres, no more known points, no more control points. We have them all together in the point cloud. We have the point cloud together and registered directly in our tablet. Other than the terrestrial ones, we have mobile mapping solutions. The same way that the terrestrial LiDAR scanner collects data happens with mobile mapping ones, maybe with 110 kilometers per hour in the car, so we collect up to 1 million points per second. Regardless of Trimble, Faro, a really legacy brand name by itself, for many, many years, has a wide range of reality capture solutions, including the new model that uses the SLAM algorithm in order to collect data while we move, not this time with a car, but it's with our handle ones. For smaller objects, we have a wide range of scanners, again, optical ones, with to colorize the point cloud directly with the scanner, with micrometers, which are really, really big precision for monuments or something like that. In general, what we would like to say as JDC is that the geospatial solutions are here in order to implement them in the tradition of and the documentation of the cultural heritage, in order to measure them, in order to monitor them regarding the damage that time has been caused to them, and of course, and to implement it into the historical context, including the augmented reality technology. If you need more from our company, you can memorize, or we can get in contact in order to have more information about our solutions. Thank you for that.
Thank you. This is Dr. Karfas, who is an industry point from the industrial perspective, commercial one. Okay, it's the same field. And for the companies, we can move to the next presentation. Professor Kliokis Esgogopoulou, please.
Thank you. Good morning. And many thanks to Professor Moropoulou for this great event. It's my pleasure to be here with the distinguished speakers and also the international audience. I will try to keep the 3 minutes. It must be 3 minutes from now, okay? So I will just focus on some key thoughts about the overall thing which AI brings to cultural heritage. And I would like to focus on the innovation aspect of which AI brings us in this era in many applications. One of these is also cultural heritage. Apart from the several projects that myself, my university participate in, there is a big challenge that Greece will have to face in the next period, and it's really a great one. Apart from a professor, I am a member of the board of directors of the Greek Infrastructure Research and Technology Network, the GRNet, which has just started 2 major projects. One is called Daedalus. It's the new computer system with around 89 petaflops of computing power, and the building of one of the 7 first AI factories in Europe. This is a major change in Greece and the ecosystem that it's creating, not only a research ecosystem, but also innovation ecosystem. And one of its main pillars is actually cultural heritage and language. So we have lots of things to put together ahead. And apart from the actual research in the field, in the sciences themselves, as the chemical science, the geoinformatics, all these things that we've heard before and are involved in cultural heritage research, one thing we need to build is strong societies, interdisciplinary societies in research, and strong innovation systems. So based on that, I would like to discuss how AI innovation intersects profoundly with digital heritage and cultural preservation. Because as our speaker said before, cultural heritage can be understood not only for its tangible nature, but also the intangible aspects like customs, craft, natural and born digital heritage, and not only comprises digitally created or digital materials, but also includes tools used to preserve, research, and communicate these forms. So in this context, the new era that I'm describing of artificial intelligence becomes a catalyst for transformation. AI technology offers vast capabilities from advanced data analysis and predictive modeling to immersive visualization. But to harness these aspects effectively, we must embrace holistic methodologies that integrate disciplines like history, anthropology, theology, archaeology, and of course, computer science. The 2 projects that are emblematic here and create a core activity in Greece, the RESPECT project and the Evlogon action, are prime examples of how this interdisciplinary collaboration can produce powerful digital infrastructure for managing, analyzing, and disseminating heritage data, particularly from emblematic sites like the Holy Aedicule. But beyond these initiatives, the whole Europe has shown and is showing a deep commitment to integrating AI and digital technologies in cultural heritage. So what is being created now, we heard about the European a data space for cultural heritage, and other major projects like the Notre Dame Restoration Collaboration, Vatican Digital Replica of St. Paul's Basilica, the ECHOS project that create, apart from the plans and 3D models of the monuments, they create federated platforms where museums, libraries, and archives can share data, collaborate in research, and leverage AI-driven tools. So apart from these opportunities, we are also facing significant challenges. So historical imagery presents issues of quality as well as problems of data scarcity, annotation, and standardization. Unlike other AI application, historical sources carry singularity and complexity that defy simple heuristics, requiring rigorous cross-validation and mixed method approaches. Time itself complicates things further, so nonlinear transitions in historical sources require multidimensional data sets, intelligent algorithms for accurate reconstructions. Current techniques in charge detection or metadata analysis still struggle with heterogeneous and inconsistently dated materials. Another major problem, transparency and explainability, also matter greatly. AI systems must be interpretable to foster trust and allow historians to verify findings, especially in heritage, where meaning and authenticity are essential. Ethical considerations such as bias, inclusivity, and cultural sensitivity are vital in any AI cultural heritage application. So these issues underscore the need for strong innovation ecosystems. As defined, innovation is a multi-stage process by which ideas are transformed into new, improved projects, products, services, processes. In cultural heritage, this unfolds multi-stakeholder environments requiring policy support, ethical frameworks, and tailored education and training programs. So to foster a thriving innovation ecosystem around digital cultural heritage, there are certain activities that need to follow our research. These being living labs and research hubs that bring together the technologists, the historians, conservators, and all other scientists to co-develop and test. AI tools are really important to be considered within hackathons and co-creation workshops to stimulate fresh AI-based ideas for heritage storytelling, preservation, and interpretation. Support for SMEs and startups in order to be active in heritage tech is another key activity through dedicated accelerator programs and EU-level funding investments. Development of open standardized digital repositories to facilitate data sharing, reproducibility, and collaboration. Citizen science project encouraging people to contribute to data collection, to public heritage and conservation and reinterpretation, enabling inclusive dialogue. There are more of these key initiatives which are really important in building all this innovation ecosystem and maintain the dialogue to society. So in conclusion, leveraging AI and cultural heritage is not merely a technical challenge, it is a social, ethical, and interdisciplinary one. As we advance technology, we must ensure our efforts reflect a deep respect for cultural understanding, inclusivity, and societal engagement. So the goal is not to automate our past, but to illuminate it thoughtfully, collaboratively, and ethically for the benefit of future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Zgovopoulou, for the kind speech about the explainable AI systems, which are very important, the AI factory of the future, which is one prominent, as you mentioned, project with 7 in European Union and 1 is for Greece. But it's the honor to give the floor. It's my honor to give the floor to Professor Tokmakidis from Aristotelic University of Thessaloniki.
Thank you, Professor Doulamis. I will speak from my chair here. And we have heard in this panel that have been developed new sensors for data collecting, and the problem is that we have huge data volumes. And then Professor Doulami speak about the computer vision, and I want to refer that around 2000, when the laser scanning starting in cultural heritage applied, there was a problem that the computers at that period could not manage the data. And the data was not so huge as it is today, because at that period we have a scanner that could collect 2,400 points per second. Today we have scanners that can collect millions of points per second. So you imagine, but the computers have been developed, and we can manage now to manipulate such data. And the last speaker talked about that there is a program, Daedalus, that is starting in Greece, and this is very promising, because in these supercomputers we can do many things that we couldn't do at the past. And I want to refer in a text that I downloaded from European Parliament, and the title is Artificial Intelligence in the Context of Cultural Heritage and Museums. And the subtitle is Complex Challenges and New Opportunities. So, in this text, it says that in Amsterdam, in the Rijksmuseum, I don't know if I corrected it, they did this. They developed with AI technology the 10th Symphony of Beethoven, which is the unfinished one. And the result was marvelous, but this is depending on the soul of the user and what data we put in the AI to extract the real result, the result that we want and that will calm our souls. Because, you know, music acts in the heart. It doesn't act in the mind or in the belly. And then the speakers were referred to how we interact with the created data or with AI. They speak about the BIM technology and how we may succeed to have a correct BIM model in monuments that there is no symmetry. For instance, in our city, in Thessaloniki, we have the Church of St. Demetrius, and how did you say, the holy step inside that the priests are, has a semi-cylinder part. On the top of it, there is a quarter sphere. Why outside from the church, the outside part of this part of the church is an octagon. On the top, there is a semi-cone. So there is no symmetry. And this is the difficult problem that BIM has to solve. Because we did a survey almost a year ago in the Grand Master's Palace in Rhodes Island, and we did it inside and outside with new instrumentation. We use a Navis system, and it has very great accurate. It is very real result, and then we give this result to the Polytechnic School in Crete, where they tried to build a BIM model of the palace. They didn't succeed yet to do it. We did BIM models, but in modern constructions. We survey a factory in FIVA, and there, because there were engines inside, there were corridors, there were columns, rectangular columns, that it was easy to build the BIM model. But when there is no symmetry, it's not so easy. And so I will close, because the time is already past, saying that the European Union Parliament has created a European strategy for data till back from 2020. And in February 22, the Commission proposed a Data Act for regulation and harmonized rules on fair access and use of data across the European Union. And those data will be helpful to users and researchers to have a computer vision for cataloging artifacts, for integrate text-based words, for deep learning and examine the artifacts, and for the restoration also. My colleagues here has been referred to this also. For the visitors, the same thing will have a better tracking of visitor numbers, better forecasting of attendance, and better analyzing feedback from visitors. It means a sentiment analysis. And for the audience, for common people, it has the result of reimagination and interpretation of the collection or of the site or of the building, if it's a monument, and the personalized visitor experience that no one can leave it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Kiris, for this excellent position. And we're going to conclude with Professor Foudos for University of Ioannina. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Anastasi. Thank you, Professor Moropoulou, for having us here in this panel with all the esteemed colleagues with long experience in digital heritage. I will start from some challenges from the computer graphics perspective that, no surprise, are similar with challenges of applying AI in digital heritage in all other fields. Oops. One challenge is the higher resolution of 3D scanning and modeling, as it was mentioned before, which must balance now detail and computational efficiency. The integration of AI in these processes introduces complexities in ensuring that the generated models maintain cultural fidelity and do not introduce biases or errors, something that was already mentioned. Another challenge is the management and presentation of vast amounts of digital data, which requires robust storage solutions and adaptable formats to withstand technological changes, something that also Professor Zouropoulou mentioned earlier. Additionally, the accessibility of these digital heritage resources presents a hurdle requiring user-friendly interfaces and interactive experiences that engage a wide audience while still respecting the cultural heritage context and significance. It's important to have the citizens engaged in this, so the users to actually use these new technologies, VR, AR, extended reality. Lastly, there is the ethical consideration of ownership and control we use with computer graphics. It's easy to reconstruct archaeological sites or monuments, and there it is out on the web, but there is this consideration of ownership and control over digital representation, demanding transparent protocols and collaborations with original custodians of the heritage. So I will go exactly some examples of graphics for cultural heritage. We have used multi-fragment rendering for showing the inner layers of monuments, like the one we see here, and we used current techniques for doing 3D reconstruction on the Dodone eagle, which is the logo of the University of Ioannina, as you know. Other scientists have used AI for producing plausible versions of ancient cities, like in Nicosia. Currently, we are using neural materials, as it is called, to produce more photorealistic lighting in real time. We have used AI and VR for cultural heritage. Here is a snapshot of the VR system that the user can go around and tour the open market of Ioannina of the early 1930s, Pazari, as it was called. Here we can see the Fetihe Mosque in Ioannina. It's in the citadel of Ioannina. It's Calais. It's Calais means inner, inside the castle. We used the drone and 3D reconstruction to produce this. And then here is an example where the Fetihe Zami is shown with before the Fetihe Zami, which means mosque of conquer. There was the church of Archangel Michael, Taxiarchy, which was there, and here is an attempt with a plausible version of this monument, of this church that was there, to show with the current monument of the Fetihe Zami. This using XR technology for showing both the monuments with transparency. So my view is that key issues, I showed the challenges at first, but right now, from the computer graphics, at least perspective, it's two things: computational efficiency and storage, and cultural fidelity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Foutos, for this nice, excellent presentation on VR, AR graphics, which is an important issue for the cultural heritage. Unfortunately, we are 15 minutes overdue, so we don't have time for discussions. I like to apologize for this, but we start late. Probably one or two questions, if you have. We don't have time. Okay, so we're going to close that to sum up that we have a panel from an holistic approach for the cultural heritage, dealing with different types of terrestrial models from the industry, from the factory of the futures and the computation intelligence tools, the documentations, the materials, the graphics, the explainable AI, the BIM models, which for the interpretation and for the model, the sound and the values of the models. So I'd like to thank you all for your kind attendance, and if you have any questions, you can find us in the coffee break. Thanks.